Hello, my name is Safia Aweys, and I'm excited to tell you about my science project about positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement based on the socioeconomic status of kids. The reason why I chose this science project was because I wanted to see if kids from different socioeconomic levels will respond differently to positive and negative reinforcement. The first part of the experiment was to develop a hypothesis on the outcome of the experiment. I hypothesized that if I compared low, middle, high-income kids, high-income kids, that the low and middle income kids will have a better response to both negative and positive reinforcement than high income kids. While high cost kids won't be influenced by positive reinforcement, but will be by negative reinforcement because they are accustomed most likely to a comfortable life that may not have the same stresses as other participants. Before I began the procedure, I researched some literature on the subject. The sources that I chose to read were Positive Psychology, Children's Ministry, Very Well Family, Washington Post, and Atlantic. These sources explain how to design reinforcement system and what is the difference between positive and negative reinforcement. And what is positive and negative reinforcement? According to my research, the outcome of the experiment should be that low and middle income kids will have effect on positive reinforcement but not negative reinforcement, while high income class kids will have no effect on positive reinforcement but will be influenced on negative reinforcement. The materials that I used for this project were 27 participants of different socioeconomic backgrounds. Candy as reinforcement prize, a laptop, age-appropriate general trivia quiz, paper, and a pencil. After I gathered my materials, I followed the procedure in order. First, I randomly selected participants and obtained parental consent. Then I identified the socioeconomic status of each child. The income range I used for low income is $28,500 to $40,700. For middle income, the range I used was $42,000 to $126,000. For high income, I used $135,000 to $670,000. The goal was a minimum of 3 children for each of the 9 groups for a total of 27 participants. Then I tested the groups using an Kahoot age-appropriate quiz. For the control group, I had them take the test without any candy or input and recorded their test results. For positive reinforcement group, I would praise the students for every question they got correct. And when they got a question wrong, I would use encouraging words and not take away candy. For the negative reinforcement group, I gave candy when they got a question correct and not make any comments if they got a question wrong and showed disappointment. Then I recorded all the responses, analyzed the data, and presented my findings. After following all the steps in the procedure, the results of the 27 participants, all of them started with positive attitude. All the participants were in the same room when I took the test and could see what was going on with each group. There was one condition that they could not talk until everyone was finished, except for the control group because I did not want the response of the other participants to affect the control group. Among the control group for all socioeconomic backgrounds, there was no apparent change in their attitude while taking the test. They scored an average score of 7 out of 10 with no significant differences in scores between subgroups and the control. If a child missed a question, there was a disappointment, but nothing significant. All the children had smiles on their faces. This group did not know the other 2 groups got candy first. For low and middle class students in positive reinforcement group, there was clear excitement to get the candy, and they put in more effort. They took the longest to finish their test and scored the average of 7.7 out of 10. Interestingly, the high socioeconomic group were excited getting candy, but they didn't show much disappointment as the middle and low-income kids groups if they got questions wrong, and they scored slightly higher than other groups with an average of 8 out of 10. See graph 1 and 2. Lastly, with the negative reinforcement group. Amazingly, these kids had the worst attitude over all 3 groups. After realizing they were getting candy for getting questions correct and were losing candy if they got questions wrong, with the worst being the high socioeconomic group. 2 of the 3 participants quit the test after a few questions. 1 out of 3 kids in the middle class group quit the test after a few questions too. Although low-income group was treated the same, they did not quit the test and scored the prize with an average of 3 out of 10. Middle and high-income groups that finished the test scored 5 out of 10. From the results, my hypothesis was supported my study supported my hypothesis, which showed that highest socioeconomic group did the worst with regards to negative reinforcement in terms of attitude, but it did not affect the scores of those who completed the test. Overall, it is clear negative reinforcement affects children of all socioeconomic levels, but it also seems that higher the socioeconomic level, the less they seem to care about their outcome if it did not personally benefit them, but getting candy as a reward. In order to confirm this, a larger study must be conducted. See graph 3. Through this experiment, I learned that positive reinforcement is the way to persuade kids of low-income and middle-income families on staying committed to work and motivate them to stay on track, especially if they have other struggles going on around them. But negative reinforcement is an effective way to maintain behavior for high income. I found that income has influence on how children respond to work done in a classroom. Thank you. My name is Safia Aweys.